Christianity is not a nationality, that's a religion. What's your nationality? What nation do you derive from? What nation do you come from? Say it again? You're black, okay. Now, on this map, right here, where's the country called black?
Okay, you mean for focusing, right?
Africa. Africa don't mean black. Here,
Yeah, I know about that.
listen up. Deuteronomy 28, right?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Hey sis, brother, sister, y'all can come across the street real quick. Read that.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Sean, this is Moses speaking to the Israelites in the wilderness. He said curses are going to come upon the Israelites if they do not keep God's commandments. What is a curse? What's a curse? Think about it. Is a curse a good thing? Is it a bad thing? What's a curse?
I know it's a bad thing, like explaining it out.
Okay, but it's a bad thing. We're going to read one of the curses that happened, and it's still happening right now, to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Watch this, watch this, watch this. You say you're a Christianity, you say you're a black. How you doing, sis? Let me ask you real quick. First off, what's your name? Say it again, Sharon? Janice. Nice to meet you, Janice. My name is Zephaniah. Sister Janice, what's your nationality?
Then a rope.
You hear that, Rashawn? Earlier, Rashawn said his nationality was Christianity. Then he said it was black. Now we have Sister Janice, look just like you, said that her nationality is Baptist.
Bring it out!
Why are we having three different nationalities, or three different names for the same race of people?
Bring it out!
Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 15. And ye shall leave your name for a curse.
Sister Janice, you hear that? You hear what you just read? Read that. Hey, pay attention. Isaiah 65:15. Read that.
Bring it out. The book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 15.
This is one of the curses that is still happening to this day on the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Read.
And ye shall leave your name for a curse.
God said we would leave our name. The name Israel, or being called a Jew, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, we would leave that for a curse. That curse is the Baptist religion. That curse is Christianity, because in the Baptist religion and Christianity, I was raised Baptist. That's a Christian faith. We were taught that this man is Christ. That's a curse. Thinking that you're black or African American, that's a curse. None of that is written in the Bible. Read.
And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen.
Only the chosen, God's chosen people will leave his name. Hey, Sister Janice, you got a flyer? Make sure you check out the flyer, all right? We have a website, we have a school. Come visit the school, okay? Rashawn, back to you again. Read that again from the top.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 15. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen.
So now, Rashawn, the first question was, what's your nationality? You said your nationality was Christianity, is black. Janice said that her nationality was Baptist. Now we know that's not the case, because we can't find that in the Bible. God said that we would leave our names, our nationalities that he originally gave us for a curse. So anything that we call ourselves right here on this sign, whether it be American black, West Indian black, Haitian, Puerto Rican, Cuban, so on and so forth, those are all curses. We left, so you're so-called American black, right? From the tribe of Judah. That means Judah means praise of the Lord. Praise of God. That's what you'd be called, rather than being called an African American or American black. What does that mean? African. The word African comes from Leo Scipio Africanus. That's an Italian navigator. America comes from Amerigo Vespucci, another Italian navigator. You don't come from two white men. That name means nothing. But being called Judah, that has some power behind it. You calling yourself Judah, you're gonna actually have the other nations have some type of fear, because they're gonna know, now you know what your nationality is. Give me John 4 and 22. John 4 and 22.
Bring it out.
Think about it. When we stand up and we march and we say, yeah, I'm a black man, I'm a Latino, they don't care. They don't care at all. There's no power in it. That's a curse. That's something that they put on us during slavery.
Right.
Read.
The book of John, chapter 4 and verse 22.
Bring it out.
Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship.
So many people, many of our people especially, they'll worship, they'll go to church, worship this man, but they don't know what the hell they worship. Right. Not at all. They think they're worshiping the truth because from what they see in the church, they see the pastor has a Bible. Right. You don't read from it. I see him, but you talk.
Right.
Read.
Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Salvation is only for the Jews. Hey, brother, real quick. Brother. What's your name, bro? Say it again? Joe. Joe. All right, nice to meet you, Joe. My name is Zephaniah.
Bring it out.
Okay.
All right, so Joe and Rashawn. Real quick, what's your name, sis?
Hey.
Tanisha. Joe, Rashawn, and Tanisha. Salvation is only for the Jews. And let me ask you real quick. Rashawn, you should probably already know. Who are the Jews today? Say it again?
Well, he said we are.
What did he say? He said, well, he said we are. Have you heard it anywhere else? In the media, you have Ye and you have Kyrie Irving. As of right now, they've been talking about how the so-called blacks and Hispanics are Jews. You had a while ago, you had, who was it, Ice Cube mentioning that. You had Nick Cannon, Deshaun Jackson, all mentioning that the blacks are Jews.
Right.
You ever heard that? All right, read that again.
Bring it out.
Because it's important that we know who the Jews are. Because were you raised in the church? Were you raised in the church? What church were y'all raised in?
21st Street. 21st Street.
What religion? What religion?
Christianity.
Christianity. All of us were raised in Christianity. But what comes of Christianity? Read that part again. Of salvation.
The book of John, chapter 4, verse 22. Ye worship ye know not what.
That's the problem with Christianity. Y'all be worshiping, but y'all don't know what the hell y'all worshiping.
Right.
Just look at it. Can you hold this right here so it don't fall? Look at this right here. No, real quick, look at this. This is what they teach you in Christianity. I know, because I was raised in Christianity.
Right.
I was raised in Christianity and went to the Catholic
That's why I
Church.
learned to judge.
They don't, they teach you lies.
Right.
Read that part again.
Ye worship ye know not what.
So because the pastor comes out with a Bible in hand but doesn't even open it up, y'all think y'all worshiping the truth of the Bible. It's not, you're worshiping lies. Read.
We know what we worship.
We know what we worship because we have the Bible, we read it, and we know that Christ looks just like us.
That's right.
He's a black man.
That's
According to the
right.
Bible, a true Jew from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
So now we're going to go into why it's important that we know who the Jews are. Read.
For salvation is of the Jews.
No. It didn't say Christianity.
For salvation is of the Jews.
Not for the Baptists.
Of the Jews.
Joe, salvation is for the Jews. So if salvation is for you, Tanisha, what do you think you have to do in order to obtain it?
Bring it out.
Because we are the Jews today, right? We're the Jews, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
Right.
Yet we're not saved. Why are we not saved? You know why? Because we're in the midst of sin.
That's right.
Day in and day out, minute in and minute out, we're always committing sin. For example, give me 1 Corinthians 3:16. Because what did you just put out?
It might be a mix of sin. That sin might be the purpose of being here.
It is. So if sin is you're absolutely right, Joe. Richard, did you hear what he just said? He said sin is the reason why we're in this condition, and it is. Because if we're God's chosen people, we should be at the top. The reason why he cast us down to the bottom is because we wanted to smoke. Because we wanted to have sex with women and not marry them. Are you two married? Are y'all together? That's why we're in the bottom. And it's not just you. Shit, we were all doing the same thing.
Right.
It's because many of our women don't want to wear dresses. They want to wear pants.
Bring it out.
It's because nowadays you got men that want to wear dresses.
Right.
Read what you got. 1 Corinthians 3:16.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3 and verse 16.
Joe, you got to listen up because this is for the sin that you were just in the midst of. Pay attention.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
So, Joe, you are the temple of God. Tanisha, you are the temple of God. Rashawn, you are the temple of God. What is the temple? Let me ask this sister. How you doing, sis? What's your name? Rosemary. That's a beautiful name. Rosemary. Quick question. What is a temple? Yes. Is a temple, would you consider, is a temple a disgusting place, or is it's a beautiful place, right?
Oh, yes, so where you go worship?
It's a place to where you're supposed to worship, right? Meaning you're only supposed to have clean things inside of the temple. So if we are the temple of God, we should only be having clean things inside of us, correct? Read.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
The Spirit of God's supposed to be dwelling within us, because we are His temple. Read.
If any man defile the temple of God.
So if we defile the temple of God, think about it. If you go inside of a place of worship and you see graffiti all over the wall, you see cigarette butts all over the place, you see pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, you see women dressed like men and men dressed like women, you see people with blonde hair, well, black people with blonde hair dyeing their hair. See, I stole a shot to you. If you see any of that stuff that's against the Bible, that's obviously not clean. That's not for the temple. You're destroying the temple. Read.
Him shall God destroy.
God said He'll destroy that same man or woman who is taking their own temple, which He made, and defiling it, making it something disgusting, making it something to abhor, making it something that's not good enough for His Spirit to get within it. That's the reason why we're in this condition right now. You about to say something?
My hair is black, but I like this color. So just because I like it don't mean
Proverbs
it's black.
3:31. Bring it out. Let's get it. Let's find out. You said you like it.
I like the color, yeah.
Okay, now, right. So if your hair is naturally black and you're doing something to change it, you don't think God would have something wrong with that?
Because I could have fixed my hair right away. But
Let's
I could
find
have put
out.
on a hat. Maybe.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31.
Bring it out.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Rashawn, who naturally has blonde hair? As a race of people, what race of people predominantly will have blonde hair? White, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
So you're not going to see black people with blonde hair. If you do, it's very rare, correct? Read that part again.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Why is it that you say that your hair underneath isn't good, but the hair color that the oppressor has is what's ideal for you?
I didn't say it wasn't good.
Did you not just say that?
I did not say my hair wasn't good.
You just like that color.
I like that color.
But who's that color for? Who's that color from?
Whoever wanted it, I guess.
Read that again.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Sean, you said earlier, that hair color comes from the oppressor. Red hair, blonde hair, that's all them. That's not predominantly within our race of people. That's not within our gene pool. We do not produce that. If you have do you have children? Okay. If y'all were to have children, right? Yeah, give me that. If y'all were to have children, their hair color, their hair color is gonna be black. It's gonna be a dark brown. That's it. We don't naturally have blonde hair. We get that from the oppressor. Because, for example, were you raised in the church? Okay, and what image of Christ did you see growing up?
Oh yeah, when I was in church, he said I learned better.
What image of Christ did you see growing up?
That one.
Which one? This one?
That one is.
That one? Guess what? Both of them have blonde hair.
Right.
That person put you in captivity. This is not the image of Christ. Right. This is the same. That's why right here it says iconoclast. A person who destroys religious images or opposes their veneration, meaning takes away from their truth. The truth of the Bible and the truth of history is that Christ is a black man. He looks just like us.
That's right.
They're taken away from that because the oppressor, the white man, said, you know what, in order to enslave these people, I need them to think that I'm God.
Right.
I need them to think that if they worship me, everything will be good and that they'll be able to be
I
saved.
used to believe when I was a little girl that he was white.
The problem is that you still believe it.
No, I don't.
You still believe it because I see it in your actions. What you got? Leviticus 13:30.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 13 and verse 29. If a woman or if a man or woman have a plague upon the head or the beard.
What is a plague? A disease. A plague is a disease. So it says if a man or woman has a disease in their hair. Read.
Then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair.
What is another word for yellow hair?
Bring it out.
The French word, blonde. That's all it is, it's blonde hair. So if you're blonding your hair, you're trying to make your hair look like it's plagued, like it's diseased. Is that something that we should be doing within our temple, before our temple? Rashawn, should we be doing that for our temple?
Bring it out.
Rosemary, should we be doing that for our temple? Is that clean with God?
I didn't know the color
Author
of
of
your
beauty.
hair was.
What's that? Wisdom of Solomon? Author of 13 and 3? Wisdom of Solomon 13 and 3. What are you saying, Rosemary?
I didn't know the color of your hair was a disease.
Well, now you do. The thing is, we're gonna read it right here. Wisdom of Solomon 13 and 3. I got you right quick.
Stay right there. Go back to the law. My sister, real quick. The main point I want you before you leave is to understand the color itself, right? We're not saying it's a sin. It's a sin when you try to change it to something what's already natural. When you read this, we're gonna read it, right? Because I want you to understand something real quick to clear it up for you.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 13 and verse 29. If a man or woman has a plague upon the head or the beard.
So he's talking about a plague. Clear as day, right? Head or the beard, right? He's talking about the head.
Then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair,
Which is blonde, another way, right?
then the priest shall pronounce him unclean.
So at that time period, right? My sister.
Yeah, with the centurion.
Hey, Manita. How you doing? Good. We just going over, my brother right here, we was going over how the Lord made us, right? And how you don't like how we change our appearance to something outside of what we already created, right? So we're going over my lovely sister right here, that she's not naturally blonde. It's some of our people come in blonde. When you look at the sign right here, right? There's some of us that will have naturally blonde. That don't make them in sin. The sin comes when you change it when it's not naturally that. Because a lot of our sisters do. When you look at down there in North and South America, some of us got yellow hair already naturally. There's nothing you could do. The Lord made you that way. You're not in sin. The sin is when you come and change it. That's the point I want you to understand. That's when it becomes a sin, not the color on its own. Now get the 13. So that's what I want you to understand, my friend. Yes, but here's what I explain to you.
We're gonna go into. What's your name, sis? Sam. Okay, Sam, Rosemary, and Rashawn. All right. Wisdom of Solomon 13.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 3. With whose beauty, if they being delighted, took them to be gods, let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty hath created them.
That's the part right there. The first author of beauty created us all. Right? God already created us to be a certain way. The way He created us naturally, He said, you're perfect. That's how I want you to be. So why would we, Proverbs 3:31, why would we sit there and change the way He naturally made us to look like, as we were speaking of earlier, the oppressor? Because who naturally has blonde hair in abundance? What race?
So it wasn't a man.
Right, it's the white race. Then I asked earlier, I said, sis, when you, right, it's not only them, but in abundance, it's them. So when we do it, we're doing it because we have that whole Stockholm syndrome. We're trying to be like our oppressor. I asked Sister Rosemary earlier, I said, hey, did you grow up in the church? She said yes. I said, what image of Christ did you see? She points to the two images that have blonde hair. That's not a coincidence. She didn't point to the other ones that have a brownish color hair. She literally pointed to these two. That's it. It's on camera. Right. That's not coincidence. That's you being indoctrinated in your mind to think that they're beautiful. Right. That the way God created them is better than He created us. God created us in His image. Right. Read what you got.
Bring it out. The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
That's a commandment. We're not supposed to be envying the people who put us into captivity. Not at all.
If more people thought like
Read.
this, it would be a better place.
And choose none of his ways.
Don't choose any of their ways. That means their customs. That goes into Thanksgiving, which just passed, right? That goes into Christmas, which is just about to come. That goes into the celebration of birthdays. That goes into homosexuality. That goes into the way they try to dye their hair to look like them. That goes into women wearing pants, because that came from Amelia Bloomer, a white woman. That was never a custom that you could find in the nation of Israel. That goes into men. Yes. Let's get into that. Deuteronomy 22:5. That goes into even more so, which is crazy now, because I know you probably didn't see it growing up. But now we can attest to it. We have men younger than us, or really boys, that's what they are, trying to be like women.
Right.
Wearing dresses, wearing skirts. You go especially to Atlanta, Miami, and New York, you will see a whole bunch of homosexuals. That's just what they are. You'll see men literally trying to be women. What's it called? LGBTQ plus community. You see them actually trying to change their gender to be women.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.